Well, look at this. This is our next project here in the lab. Look at that. Look at that neon. What neon color is that? Is that neon orange? Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. Whatever it is, and it's on a very old CT ham safeguard. And as far as I can tell, this could be in really nice shape underneath this, and we don't even know what. Is there any brass in here covered up under all this stuff? And you can see it was painted with a paintbrush. And the farmer I got it from had a great story about this. Said he's had it, a very old man. He said he had it since he was a kid, and he would use it to go put the chickens to bed, as he said it. And I said, well, where's the chicken barn? And he's like, well, I burned it down. And I asked him if it was the lantern that did it, and he could neither confirm or deny that. It was an interesting story. So here is our CT ham safeguard, and I've been waiting until I saw you guys to get rid of all the dirt on this thing, and we're gonna reveal what's underneath all that. So let's get to it. Right, so as we usually do, we'll take the bail off. Oh yeah, there's some little damage there, but this cost this was a very inexpensive lantern. You see, there's an issue there. I could probably do a little something there to bring that out a bit. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Yeah, a round peg in a square hole. Okay, so what I'm looking to see is what it would take for me to get. All right, well, that's loose. Trying to see what it would take for me to get this out of here. Well, first let's look at some other stuff. Why don't we check the burner out? Hey, nice big handsome burner. Wick's gone, probably down inside the tank. All right, well, that's not too bad. That'll clean up. Not brass. So we know that. All right. Okay, we'll let that work there for a minute. That's while that WD is working, I'm gonna take this crown off, because as for some reason all CT ham crowns have been damaged. Sorry, folks. Okay, yeah, that could be fixed up. I think I just pounded those stem tabs, but that's okay. I can reopen those holes. Okay, and we'll know more about this once we get all this paint and junk off and take a look at that. But that's a billion times better than it looked a minute ago. Good. All right, now filler cap. There we go. Judging by that noise, it was put in crooked. And it sounds like it's spinning freely. It sounds like I'm spinning the lid to it, which is exactly what's happening. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to squeeze it a little bit and try to get them both out at once. There we go. Yep, there's a wick. Oh, nice. Nice wick. Nice big 1-inch wick. Okay. So I want to see if these are, if this is welded. Does appear to be. All right, so here's what I think I'm gonna do. Because this is loose, it's gonna need to be resoldered anyway. I think I'm gonna pull this part off so we can get this whole assembly out here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a Dremel and I'm gonna get down to that solder there, just so I don't set fire to this paint. All right. Okay, so we'll quickly get that off of there. All right, let's get this off here. Okay. I think I smell a little rodent hair too. All right. Ooh, ooh, that's hot. Okay, good. Get that off there and we can clean that up separate. Oh, thank you, Miss Kitty. All right. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay, that's good enough for now. Pretty close. So, we have our pieces off. Let's see if I can do a little something with that before we continue. pinched a little bit. Okay, that's good for now. We can tidy that up before reassembly. That's done better. Good. All right. By the way, when I said I smelled rodent hair or something when I was heating up that air tube, yeah, I was burning something that looks to be insect nest. Okay, off to the sink. All right, we got a stripper, we got a paintbrush, and we have lantern. So we're gonna let that do its thing. Okay, this paint is a freaking nightmare. Oil-based, and it is sticking to everything as it comes off. Soap or anything, it just isn't doing it. What a mess. I'm going for a second coat here, by the way. I'm going to have to put a coat on my sink as well. Oh boy. Well, that was awful. That's the worst paint I've ever had to deal with. And it looked like it was just like one thin little coat. But the thing is, when you put stuff on with a brush, big, you get globs. You get globs like that. But this is oil based, so anywhere I touched, like, I had rubber gloves on, but anywhere I would touch where the paint was coming off, anywhere I touched that didn't have paint on it, it was sticking to it like brand new paint. So this stuff, it was all over my sink, all over the walls. It's just a mess. Awful stuff. And it's probably going to be a pain in the butt to get out of all these little nooks and crannies. Nothing I hadn't done before, but that ordeal in the sink it sucked because your hands are super slippery from the stuff and having rubber gloves on and you can't hold it. All right, so I did notice a couple structural things. There's there's a little break in the weld there, the solder. So I'm going to reinforce that before we go too far because I could just be making it worse. So while this dries up a little bit, I'm going to get these things on the big grinding wheel, clean them up, and then we'll tackle this and take care of these cosmetic issues and structural issues before we go any further with this. All right. Okay, so we got some stuff on the wheel, and I did a little bit on the lantern on the wheel as well. Okay. So let's start working on some cosmetic deals, cosmetic issues. I'm going to have to open these holes back up at some point here. Oh, gotta be careful with the hammer marks, Brad, you dumbass. But these hammer marks are better than what we started with here. Okay, I think that's good. But we will have to work on these before we put that back on. See, this paint, none of this paint was under here when I went to strip it off. Just for me holding it like this, and the stuff just migrates around and restuck to everything. Bad stuff. Okay, so what we have to deal with is reinforce this solder in these joints right here. I'm trying to get this paint out here while it's still a little pliable from the stripper. Okay, not bad yet, but I think we can fix it before it gets any worse. All right, let's get the Dremel in here on that. Then we'll get to soldering. You can see the marks where they used a big flat soldering iron, not a torch, to kind of slather on the solder. Okay. Interesting. I can see the two plates that were pressed together here for these air tubes. I can see them, they kind of twist back and forth a little bit. So, looks like these solders on the sides are good, but this one over the top here, which is probably the most vulnerable, and I can see that it's just a little tilted. How can I get it to stay like that? Okay, so what I've done here is use my rigging system. There's a hook over there. You can see, comes up over here, goes down, and there's the C-clamp there. And I have, because if I put this full tension of these things on the top of this, it would probably bend it. But, and then I put it on the level, and we're gonna level this out, and then I'm gonna go to try and solder. So that way, that thing is right up and down. That's what we want. Okay. All right, so got a little acetone on the area. Ooh, chilly stuff. So I feel better doing this now before I start doing some more manhandling of this thing, twisting it around. I plan to only do it around this little area here. Because I don't know what else I could do. Whoops. Ooh. I'm thinking there's water in there. That's what was popping. All right. We are on the level. Now I can see much more prominently, I can see where the cracks are with my headlamp on. Ooh. That was chilly down my leg. All right. Oh, didn't flux it. See? I'm out of practice. But that actually doesn't look half bad, what I just did there. Okay, we'll put this off to the side for a bit and let that kind of cure or whatever it is it wants to do. And I'll work on these small bits. Ah, I broke a tab off. Okay. We're going to try to fix that at some point. I went to the parts box. We'll see what we can do with that. My, what big tin snips you have. Oh, this will be interesting. This side of this together here. Don't know how well it's going to work. We'll give it a try. But in the meantime, we got to finish up this other stuff. Okay, I'm going to take steel wool to an area here because we need to do some soldering before we do a whole bunch of other stuff. We got to solder this. Got to solder this lift assembly back on. Well, we might as well do a good amount of stuff first, because once I put that assembly back on, it's going to be very awkward because there's going to be thingies all over the place. So why don't we give it a once over? What do you say? And I've seen far too many steel wooling time lapses in my video. So I'm going to cut this short, but you know what's going on here. All right, let me get rid of a little of this chunkage. That's better. Okay. Now, set this back a little bit. All right, we got it. Now, what's next? Good gravy. Okay, so continuing the steel wooling. And we're gonna open the holes back up on this crown. To accommodate our tabs. Ooh. All right, now we can see what we're dealing with here. Okay, well, I want to see what happens here. Ever so gently. I apologize if you're not seeing this, but this is definitely crucial, delicate work here. I don't want that post to pop off, the one I just fixed. Two. Ah! One, two, three. Oh, okay. I just broke up another one. Right. Well, crown is fixed and put on. I apologize for not filming it. I was at a frustration level. I'm like, I need to concentrate and I need to have my face where the camera normally is so I can see up close and see what's going on. But I cut 2 more hunks of tin from an old lantern, soldered them on, and was able to get the tabs bent over without breaking any more off. So, okay. And by the way, I also did a little repair here. No, I didn't repair it, but I just made it better than it was. This was all bent up here. So the things that we did to this baby, we haven't even tried putting fluid in it yet, but we did, we resoldered this, we resoldered the air tubes 3 times, we resoldered tabs on the chimney, and 19 million hours of trying to get every little bit of this paint off. And there's bits underneath here on parts that you'll never see, and probably after use that'll all burn off. So we're going to treat now. Going to treat this baby and get this baby up on the shelf looking pretty. So it's a million times more stable. Great. That part's great. And I'm glad that I got that I'm glad I got that crown going like that. All right, so let's start treating here. Can't wait to see what this metal looks like with some oil on it. I'm going to just oil all this stuff up because everything here had rust on it. By the way, I tried to clean the wick that was in here and it disintegrated just under warm water. It disintegrated. So I don't have any 1-inch wicks, so I got 7/8. Close enough. We'll put that in there. Okay. As I usually say, I am slopping this on with a brush. That way I can get all the little nicks and crannies that my fat fingers couldn't normally get to. And I'm putting it on here nice and thick, and I'll just kind of wipe it off. Kind of like putting on a car wax. So, this turned out to be much more of a what I planned for this lantern. Holy moly, I'm like, oh good, looks like it's just got brushed on cheapo paint, and it'll come right off, and this will be no problem. But boy, oh boy. That's why I like buying the ones that never had paint on them. But as Adam Savage said, I mean, you know, the more CT hams or the more lanterns I fix up, the more I'll learn and how to do it and how to disconnect things and how to reconnect things and how to do, you know, on the fly repairs. My whole work desk here, my whole lab table needs a once over after this lantern. I have destroyed it trying to get it all my tools and crap. And I'm just going to keep wiping it off till I get the desired glossiness or lack thereof. I like just kind of a bit of a satin. We're not going to fire this up tonight. First reason is because I don't have the patience for this lantern doing anything else wrong. But also, I had this in the sink and I had running water going through. I flushed out the air tubes and flushed out the tank, but the tank's not completely dry. I'd rather not throw some fuel in there. I want to let it dry out. Because I do like seeing these very old lanterns. And I say very old because of my meager, cheap little collection I have. Ranges from probably around 1902, 1900, up to stuff made in the late 50s. Oh yeah, and I got some modern, or more modern stuff I use for parts. Okay, let's pop a wick. Pop a wick. All right. Fresh wick. Pop it in. Looks like we're locked. Well, with lock tabs, they're not perfect, but they're working. I don't think that's right. I don't think that belongs in there. Judging by what happened, me trying to take it off earlier. Yeah. I don't think that's the right one. But we're going to make it work. So now I need a globe. I need a globe. Oh, gotta put the bail back on. Bail test. Okay. See if I can find a globe for this thing. So I'm thinking, takes one of these big boys. Judging by how the girth of this thing. Let's take a look. Sure does seem like the right one, doesn't it? Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's a globe I popped in. It sure looks appropriate, doesn't it? And it looks pretty in there. All right, wow, boy, this was a long couple days for this baby. So this is CT Ham, a #2 Cold Blast Safeguard. And we're done. We're done with it. And since this is a Rochester-born lantern, it stays in my collection. And it's big and beautiful. It cost me very, very little. I was very happy to get it, and I'm very happy that I got it. And I'm very happy that the project is over. Until I tried to, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, look at that. That's raised a little bit. So that, yeah, that's probably the wrong globe, I would say. Because maybe these have been stretched out. Who knows? That's okay. That'll work for now. Got to find out what the appropriate globe is. Or the shape. All right, folks. Hey, this remarkable project is done for now. And hey, folks, till next time, don't you go change it.